Hello everyone. Today we study some theorems or some problems which related to the definition which we have discussed in our previous lecture. Okay. So in which the first problem is, see, the every non-linear space is a metric space. You have to show that every non-linear space is a metric space. For that you have to verify the properties of metric space, okay, for the non-linear space N. That means here we define a metric D on a non-linear space N. That means D is a function from N cross N to R, and which is defined as D of xy is equals to norm of x minus y. So you know the properties of metric. The first property of matrix is non-negativity, second is non-degeneracy, third property is commutativity, and the fourth one is triangle inequality. You have to verify these four properties to show that D is a metric on N, that is a non-linear space. Okay, so let us check the first property. The first property, that is non-negativity. Okay, so for any elements or vectors xy belongs to N, x minus y is belongs to N. Okay, that means norm of x minus y is greater than or equals to 0. Okay, see, this is trivial property, and therefore distance between x and y is greater than or equals to 0. Now distance of xy is equals to 0. Okay, if distance of xy is equals to 0, it possible only when their norm, which is defined here, the norm is 0. Distance means what? Here distance is defined as a norm of x minus y. Okay, therefore norm of x minus y is 0 if and only if, when norm is 0, if and only if x minus y is equals to 0. Okay, x minus y is equals to 0, that means x is equals to y. X minus y is equals to 0 only when x and y are same. That is why x is equals to y. This is our second property. Okay, the third property is commutativity. See, consider distance between x and y, which is equals to norm of x minus y. Okay, so take minus common from this x and y, so it will be minus 1 into minus of x plus y. That means it is y minus x. See here, so norm of minus 1 into y minus x. Here minus 1 is a scalar. Okay, so scalar, if we have a scalar, then we take its modulus. Okay, that means modulus of minus 1 into norm of y minus x. Okay, so which is equals to modulus of minus 1 is 1, so it is 1 into norm of y minus x. That means it is norm of y minus x only. That is, and norm of y minus x is what? Distance between y and x, as the definition of D. We have defined D as a distance between x and y, that means norm of yx minus y. Okay, so which is D of yx, that means from this and this we have distance between x and y is equals to distance between y and x, that is commutative property. Okay, next is distance triangle inequality. Now consider distance between x and y. So this is what, according to definition, which is equals to norm of x minus y. Okay, so this is equals to, add and subtract z here in this norm, so it is x minus z plus z minus y. So minus z plus z will get cancelled, we have x minus y. Okay, that means addition of z and subtraction of z does not affect the norm. Okay, therefore norm of x minus z plus z minus y, so we just separate it, so which is less than equals to norm of x minus z plus norm of z minus y. That means distance between x and y is less than equals to, norm is what? Distance between xz plus this norm z minus y is a distance between zy. Okay, that means distance of xy is less than equals to distance of xz plus distance of zy. This is triangle inequality. Therefore all the properties of norm are satisfied by that D, and therefore D is a metric on N, which is non-linear space. That means every non-linear space is a metric space. Okay, now we have to see some important result. Okay, that in which the first result is norm of the first result is mod of norm of x minus norm of y is less than equals to norm of x minus y. So to prove this result, it is sufficient to prove that norm of x minus norm of y is less than or equals to norm of x minus y. That means this and this is same. Okay, so consider minus of negative of norm of x minus norm of y. So which is what? Norm of x, norm of y multiply by that negative sign under the bracket. So we'll have norm of y minus norm of x. Okay, so which is less than equals to norm of y minus x by our property of norm. Okay, so which is less than equals to norm of y minus x. That means now take minus common. So it is what? If we take minus common, then it will be which is equals to what? Norm of minus 1 into minus y plus x. Okay, that means it is minus of norm of minus of x minus y. Okay, that means modulus of, here minus means minus 1, so modulus of minus 1 into norm of x minus y. So modulus of minus 1 is 1, that is 1 into norm of x minus y, that means norm of x minus y. Okay, so this is our property that now we have proved norm of x minus norm of y is less than equals to norm of x minus y. That means what? This is proved. That means this first is also proved. Okay, the second case is norm is a second example is norm is a continuous function. You have to show a function which defined on a space that is n is a continuous, and this function is a norm function. Okay, so is a continuous function. So for that, to show the continuous function, that means every sequence in that space is a convergent sequence. We have to show that sequence is convergent sequence, and that is then that norm will be a continuous function. Okay, so see here, let xn be any sequence which converges to x, that is xn tends to x. Xn be any sequence in a norm linear space which converges to x, that means xn tends to x. This implies norm of xn is also tends to norm of x, right? This is clear from the fact that, from this fact which we have seen here. Okay, mod of norm of xn minus norm of x is less than equals to norm of xn minus x. Okay, see, since xn tends to x implies norm of xn minus x tends to 0. Why? Because as xn tends to x, this implies xn minus x tends to 0. Okay, and this implies norm of xn minus x tends to 0, which is here. Okay, that is norm of xn minus x is also tends to 0, and therefore norm is a continuous function. That means this sequence is convergent. That means distance between any 2 points of this sequence is tends to a particular number. That is why that sequence is a convergent sequence. Okay, now we have to prove that addition and scalar multiplication of sequences is continuous. Okay, so see, let xn and yn be any two sequences, xn and yn be any two sequences, and these two sequences are convergent sequences. That means xn tends to x and yn tends to y. Okay, so and this implies xn plus yn is tends to x plus y. Obviously, right, as xn tends to x and yn tends to y, this implies xn plus yn is also tends to x plus y. Okay, now let alpha n be any sequence of a scalar. Alpha n be a sequence of scalar from that space. Okay, alpha n is what? A sequence of scalar from that space n, and which tends to alpha, and another one sequence is there, that is xn is a sequence. To prove the scalar multiplication, we have taken this sequence. Okay, so this implies alpha n multiplied by xn, this tends to alpha into x. As alpha n tends to alpha and xn tends to x, implies that alpha n into xn obviously tends to alpha into x, right? So okay, these are two sequences. Okay, so now consider, we have to show the addition is continuous. Addition of two sequences is continuous. Okay, so consider here norm of xn plus yn, that means these are two sequences xn and yn. Okay, xn plus yn minus x minus y. Okay, so which is what? Now multiply by that minus sign under the bracket, so we'll have xn minus x plus yn minus y. See here. So which is separation, after separation of norm we get norm of xn minus x plus norm of yn minus y. Okay, so as xn tends to x, okay, so xn minus x tends to 0, okay, and yn tends to y, therefore yn minus y tends to 0. These two sequences are convergent sequences, okay, and therefore the addition xn plus yn minus x plus y is also tends to 0. This addition xn plus yn minus x plus y tends to 0. Okay, that means this xn plus yn is a convergent sequence. Okay, and as this sequence is converges, I mean all the points, if we consider all the points of that sequence minus the point which at which the sequence converges, this subtraction of these two tends to 0. Okay, by epsilon delta definition of continuity we will get all the concept here. Okay, so it will be sequence xn plus yn minus x plus y tends to 0. That means this is convergent sequence, and that is why this norm which is less than or equals to this is also convergent. That means addition and scalar multiplication of sequences is addition is continuous. Now see the scalar multiplication. Okay, let alpha n be a sequence which tends to alpha or which converges to alpha, and xn is a sequence which tends to x. Therefore norm of alpha n into xn minus alpha into x consider. Okay, so which is equals to what? Alpha n xn, add here alpha n x and subtract alpha n x, so it does not affect to the original our original assumption or original sequence. Okay, so xn alpha n into xn minus alpha n x plus alpha n x, it's just a adjustment. Okay, minus alpha x. Okay, so which is equals to norm of, take alpha n common from these two terms. Okay, so we'll have alpha n common into bracket here xn minus x plus take x common here is x and here is also x, so that is alpha n minus alpha. Okay, see alpha n is what? A constant, that is a scalar. Okay, so we'll take mod of alpha n which is less than or equals to separating the norm. Okay, mod of alpha n into norm of xn minus x plus alpha n minus alpha is a sequence of scalar which tends to alpha. That means alpha n minus alpha is again a scalar. Okay, so we'll take mod of alpha n minus alpha, and x is a vector in that space norm, in that norm linear space. Okay, so it is alpha n minus alpha which is equals to norm of into norm of x. So here we know that xn minus x tends to 0. Similarly alpha n minus alpha is also tends to 0 by our previous argument. Okay, that means these two sequences are convergent sequences. This implies this total term is convergent, and that is why this sequence is convergent, and that means it is a continuous. That means that is addition and scalar multiplication of norm is also continuous function, and therefore norm is a continuous function. Okay, so these are the two important results here we have proved. Yesterday we have seen some definitions. Okay, and in the tomorrow's lecture we will see the important theorem. Okay, so we'll stop here.